and lock my front door. Okay, so we'll get started in standing. We're going to start in what we call our mountain pose. So our feet are about hip distance apart. Give or take a little bit. They could be wider if that's more comfortable, or a little more narrow, just finding your mountain pose. Our arms are down by our side, palms facing forward. And we're gonna pause here for a minute and just tune into our breath. So maybe we close our eyes if that's comfortable to our balance, or we can allow our eyes to look down at the floor in front of us, maybe even finding something to look at to stay focused on. And we'll take a moment here to first notice any sounds in the room that we're in. Notice any sounds of the air conditioning, noticing any sounds of electricity or any other sounds that might be present in our space. Just tune into those for a moment. And then begin to try to tune those sounds out. Eventually turning your awareness to your body on your mat. Now let's begin to notice our feet on the mat. Noticing where your toes touch. Noticing where the bottoms of your feet touch. Feeling the quality of the mat beneath you. Is it a little squishy? Is it pretty firm? Just noticing. And then beginning to notice your breath. As we inhale, our abdomen, our navel center, our belly begins to expand, begins to lift. And as we exhale, the belly, the navel center begins to relax or almost press in towards the back. So maybe you even place your hands on your belly. So inhaling, really pushing the belly out, but not forcefully, just allowing the natural expansion to occur. As you exhale, noticing your hands kind of press back towards you. You can even imagine that as we inhale, it's like a balloon inflating, as if the balloon is inhaling our breath. And as we exhale, it's as if the air is pressing out of the balloon, deflating. And then we can notice this expansion of the breath up through the rib cage, the chest. We exhale, and we let go. Take this a few more times. And today, I invite us to find a practice of joy. So often yoga feels very serious and methodical, but let's try to have a little fun, maybe even invite in some smiles to our practice and keep it a little lighthearted. It doesn't always have to be so serious, and it feels good to laugh and smile. Maybe even saying to ourselves 3 times, I am full of joy, light, and love. I am full of joy, light, and love. I am full of joy, light, and love. We can begin to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, maybe even open the eyes if they're closed, and then just begin to allow maybe your shoulders to move, maybe move your legs around at this point. Just let your body kind of move how it likes. We don't need to do anything in particular here. Just wiggle it out, do your own little dance. And then we'll come back to our mountain pose, finding a little bit of stillness, and we're going to practice our breath of joy today. So this is a 3-part inhale and 1 big exhale. So you can watch me first. I'll demonstrate a few times. So bend your knees a little bit so we're not locking out our knees. We'll inhale, reach arms in front of us. Inhale, reach arms to the side. Inhale, reach arms in front of us. As we exhale, we take a big, let the air out. So inhale up, inhale out, inhale up, exhale down. So we'll take this 7 times at your own pace. Inhale, 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 ha. Inhale, 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 ha. Inhale, 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 ha. Once you've done your 7, just pause back in your mountain, or you can take more if you feel like that feels really good. Just energizes us. So notice how we feel. Maybe you feel a little tingling in your fingers or your toes. Maybe bring a smile to your face. Okay, we'll take a nice wide stance. So you can either step off your mat or you can turn so both feet are on your mat. It's up to you, whatever feels best. And our feet will turn out about 90 degrees, and we'll bring our arms out to our side, palms facing up at first. Just imagine that the sun is shining and it feels super good. And then we'll bring our arms overhead. Now we're our 5-pointed star. So we're going to inhale here, take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we'll bend our knees, bring our elbows towards our rib cage. And we'll just continue to move. This is called our moonflower. So we'll inhale to lift, exhale to lower. We're just warming up our body here. So moving as slowly or as quickly as you would like. Maybe do a little bit of both. And then we can stay here with moonflowers, or maybe we add in our sunflowers. So as we exhale, we'll begin to hinge at our hips and kind of come into a forward fold. Maybe we take our hands on our legs, or we let our arms drop, or give ourselves a hug at the bottom. We'll inhale, lift back up, bringing our thumbs together at the top. As we exhale, we squat and hinge. Again, we can let our arms go, or we can keep our hands on our legs and just continue to once again flow at your pace, your breath. And then maybe we kind of combine our moonflowers and our sunflowers. So maybe we create our own pattern, or maybe we like just one of those better than the other. We'll just take a couple more. And then we'll meet back with hands at heart center. And we'll step to the top of the mat. And once again, just pause in our mountain pose. So we do a lot of movement in yoga, but it's also very nourishing and good to just take a moment of pause to allow the movement to kind of settle into your body. Take a break and reconnect with the breath. Let's inhale, sweep arms overhead. As we exhale, we'll hinge forward, hands on our upper legs. We'll bend our knees, sweep back up. Exhale, hinge, hands on our legs. And we'll just take this a few times, and we'll slowly begin to add on. Maybe the next exhale, we come into a full forward fold, if that feels good. On an inhale, lifting halfway, hands on shins or upper legs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep, rise back up to mountain with arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, let's fold. This time stepping back to downward facing dog. Pausing in our downward dog. Maybe we pedal our feet here. Maybe we wag our tail. And from downward dog, let's come onto our knees, shifting forward into a kneeling plank. Nice long line from our tail to the crown of our head. As we exhale, lower down. Inhale, we come up to baby cobra, hands under shoulders, lifting our upper back, our chest. As we exhale, press it back to downward dog. Take 3 breaths here in downward dog, either finding stillness or pedaling the feet. We begin to walk forward, forward fold. Bending our knees as much as we need to here, lengthening the spine. As we inhale, lifting halfway, hands on shins or upper legs, creating a tabletop with our back. We could set our coffee or our tea there and it wouldn't spill. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, circle sweeping, Sweeping back up to our extended mountain and sitting into our chair pose, hands at heart center. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. And then when we're ready, stepping back, downward facing dog. Pedaling our feet here for a moment. Shifting into kneeling plank. Lowering all the way down on an inhale, lifting up, baby cobra. Flipping the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. Walking feet forward, forward fold. Lifting halfway and fold. Circle sweep, rise up. Hands to heart center, sitting in our chair. Pause in our chair for 2 to 3 more breaths. And then we'll lift back up to our mountain pose. One more round. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, fold. On an inhale, lifting halfway and fold. Stepping back, downward facing dog, pausing here. When we're ready, coming to our kneeling plank, lowering all the way down, pressing to baby cobra, or maybe we take a full cobra this time. Softening the elbows, flipping the toes, downward facing dog. We can pause here for about 3 breaths. Bending our knees as much as we need to here, reaching the crown of our head towards the ground, tail towards the sky. When we feel ready, walking into a forward fold. On your inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold. Circle sweep, rising up, coming right into chair with hands at heart center. And let's pause in our chair. Feel nice and strong here. Maybe we sit a little deeper, or maybe we stay in a high stool. Let's sweep arms back up, hands through heart center, coming into our mountain pose. Just pause here for a moment. We can keep our hands at our heart or by our side. Just check in, notice what we notice. Let's inhale, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, coming back to our chair. This time walking our feet together. We have a more narrow chair here. You can stay wherever you'd like, and we're gonna add a little rotation. So we'll inhale to prepare as we exhale, rotating towards the right, opening up our arms. Inhaling through center, rotating back open to the left, and just continuing to move side to side, seeing if you can keep your knees in line with each other here. That way we're getting most of the rotation through our core. The next time we rotate towards the left will be our last. We'll pause back in our chair. On your next inhale, pressing up, mountain pose. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and step our right foot back, coming into our high lunge. So right foot goes back. Our left knee is forward, left knee is stacking over our left ankle. Back heel is lifted to begin if we can. Bringing our hands to our heart. We'll inhale here, exhale, rotate towards the left. Maybe we sweep our arms open, maybe we keep our hands at heart center. So we're rotating towards our bent leg. We'll inhale back through center. From here, we're gonna open up to the right into our warrior 2. Just take our time, okay? So left knee is stacking over left ankle. Beautiful. Back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Our arms are stretched out. We're looking over our left fingertip. And we're going to inhale here as we exhale, reach forward. Inhale through center, exhale, reach back. Inhale, and just keep reaching forward and backwards. And maybe we need to walk our feet a little closer to each other to feel a little more stable. That's okay too. And we'll meet back in center, pausing in our warrior 2. Let's inhale here, exhale, straighten our left knee, reach our left arm up and back into our reverse triangle. Coming back to warrior 2 and flowing through this 2 more times. It's your breath, your pace. And then just meeting back in our warrior 2 when we feel ready. Softening the shoulders away from the ears, gazing towards the left fingertips. Let's bring the hands to the heart. We'll turn our left foot to parallel our right. Pausing here for a moment. So we're in a wide-legged stance. Very good. We'll bring our hands behind us. So we can either take our hands in our back pockets, or we could reach for our beach ball or interlace our fingers with each other for our wide-legged chest expansion. Let's pause here. Feeling our feet connected to the ground, our heart is open. We'll bring our hands back to the heart. We're now going to turn to the right. So now we're going to be facing the back of our room, coming back into our high lunge from a different perspective. So our back heel, our left heel is lifted, our right knee is stacking over our right ankle. So now we're using our listening skills maybe a little bit more than our visual. So just challenging ourselves in multiple ways here and just having a different perspective. Let's inhale here as we exhale, rotate towards the right. So maybe hands stay at the heart, or maybe we sweep arms open. Taking any adjustments to the leg, maybe sinking deeper into our lunge if that feels good. Softening the shoulders, softening the face. Bring our hands back to our hearts, back to center. Dropping our left heel down, we'll come into our warrior two on the opposite side. So our right knee is stacking over our right ankle. Our right toes are facing the back of our mat now, the back of our room. See, and so if we don't get it right away, we just laugh at ourselves a little bit. It's just yoga. We're having fun today. So gazing over the right fingertips now in our warrior two. Right knee stacking over right ankle, pressing through the pinky toe side of our left foot. So we'll inhale in center, exhale, reach forward with our right hand. Inhale through center, exhale, reach back. Taking this 2 more times at our breath, our pace. Trying to keep our legs nice and stable here. We're moving through our center body, very good. And we'll pause back in warrior two, softening the shoulders whenever we're ready. From here, inhale, as we exhale, we straighten our right leg, reversing our triangle. 2 more times at our breath, our pace. Once again, we'll pause in warrior two. Hands to the heart, we'll turn our right foot to parallel our left, wide-legged stance. We can take the option we had before, which was a chest expansion, or we can move into a forward fold. So if we take our fold, we bend our knees a little bit, we begin to hinge forward, hands reach towards the floor or towards our legs, or if we have a block to support us, we can adjust our legs further apart if that feels good, or closer together. So wherever we choose to be, checking in with our bodies, does this feel good? Does this feel right? Listening to our inner voice, does it feel joyful? Feeling the breath through the back body if we're in a fold. And then walking our hands forward, palms are flat, about shoulder distance apart. So now we're in a wide-legged, short stance, downward facing dog. So softening through the knees as we lift our hips towards the sky. A different perspective on our downward dog, seeing just where we are we shifting more to the right or the left, and then trying to find our center. Breathing in. And then whenever we feel ready, maybe walking our feet a little closer towards each other, guiding ourselves back up, stepping to the top of the mat into our mountain pose. Let's just pause in mountain for a moment. We could gather our hands back at the heart or by our sides, palms facing forward, just checking in. We'll take our hands back at our heart. We're going to step our right foot back again, once again finding our high lunge. So our back heel stays lifted, if that feels okay. Our knee is bent on the left side. We'll take another rotation. We can keep our hands at our heart, or we can sweep our arms out to the side. Inhale here as we exhale, rotate towards the left and pause. Just taking our gaze to wherever feels good. Maybe we look towards our left thumb or our right thumb. We'll bring our hands back to our heart, and we're going to take one more rotation. We can either take the one we just practiced, or we can take our right hand down to the floor on the inside of our left foot, and then take our left hand to our leg or our hip, or reach our left hand towards the sky. So taking our choice of one more rotation. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just whatever feels best to you. If any, maybe we skip rotation. Let's come back to center in our high lunge. And from our high lunge, let's slowly drop our right knee to the ground, taking our time to get there. Nice. Pausing here. Let's take both hands down to the ground on the inside of our left foot. We wiggle our right leg back a little bit, and now we find a lizard pose. So finding our lizard pose, and we're going to hold here. Going to breathe. Notice where we feel any sensation through the hips, to the legs. Keeping a softness through the elbows, shoulders away from the ears. Now to come out of this, I have a couple choices today. We can come back up through our lunge, or we can begin to walk ourselves to the other side. So all the way towards the back of the mat again. Coming in now to our downward dog, facing the back of our mat. And then we'll walk our feet forward, forward fold. Shaking our head yes and no, maybe bending our knees, maybe even swaying a bit side to side. We could take opposite elbows to opposite hands, framing our head into a rag doll. Pausing in center on an inhale, lifting halfway, creating that tabletop with our back. Exhale, fold. On an inhale, circle sweep, rising up, finding our mountain pose. This time, we will step our left foot back, finding our high lunge. Our back heel is lifted. We'll add our rotation so we can keep our hands at the heart or sweep our arms out. Inhale here, exhale, rotating towards the bent knee, towards the right. Feeling the breath through the rib cage. Softening the shoulders. We'll inhale back through center. We'll take one more rotation. Again, we can choose that option, or we can take our left hand to the floor on the inside of our right foot and begin to rotate towards the right, maybe keeping our hand on our leg or reaching the right hand towards the sky. The yogi's choice here. And whenever you feel ready, just making your way back to your high lunge in center. And then from here, dropping the left knee, bringing the hands to the inside of the right foot, finding our lizard. Our hands are on the ground. We have softness through our elbows, through our shoulders. And in our lizard, maybe our right knee presses into our arm as our arm presses into our right knee. And then from here, we make our way back to the front side of the mat. Just however we'd like to get there, we'll take another downward dog. Maybe pedaling the feet. Finding a moment of stillness, lifting our hips towards the sky. Shaking our head yes and no if we need to. And from here, walking into forward fold. Pausing, imagining just anything that doesn't serve you, that doesn't feel good in your body or mind, that it just rolls off your back. Nice inhale of joy, exhale, letting anything negative go off the back. On an inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold. Reversing our swan dive, rising up, coming back into mountain. Just checking in for a moment. Maybe smiling. And we're gonna come into some balance work. So let's bring our hands to our heart to help us come into center. If we need to find a wall, we could always find a wall. We have a couple activities we'll do today. So we'll shift all of our weight onto our right foot and begin to lift our left leg off the ground, bringing our knee to hip height, or maybe it stays lower. Pausing here. As we root into our right foot, we lift up through the crown of the head. You can always use a wall. And let's lower our left foot. Let's take our feet wide and practice our empty coat sleeves, just releasing the tension, just letting it go. And then we'll pause back in mountain. Shifting our weight to our left foot, beginning to float the right leg up, pulling the toes towards the sky, pausing here. Softening the shoulders. Releasing the left foot down. Shake it out. I'm going to add on to that. And coming back in mountain. Shifting our weight to our right foot, lifting our left leg up again. So we can stay here, or we can add a little rotation. So bringing hands to heart center, arms out to the side. We're going to inhale, exhale, rotate towards the bent leg, towards the left leg. So keeping our legs right where they are. Are we still having nice full breaths here? That's the question. And when we feel ready, coming back to center. Again, shaking it out or finding empty coat sleeves. And then we'll arrive back in center, back in our mountain. Just taking a moment here to reset. Just take a moment to let go of whatever you did on the other side, knowing this is a new side, a new moment, so it might be a completely different experience, and that's okay. Bring our hands to our heart. We'll begin to shift our weight to our left foot, lifting our right leg up, finding our balance, staying here, adding rotation. Inhaling to lengthen, prepare, exhale, rotating this time towards the right, towards the bent leg. We'll sweep back through center and we'll let it go. And feel free to take any last standing movements you like here. We're going to work our way to the ground, finally. And when you're ready, I invite you to the top of your mat, one more mountain pose. Just take one more here. Just really feel the feet, feel the strength, the energy running through your body, feeling nice and strong. Let's inhale, sweep arms overhead as we exhale, swan dive, forward fold. One last forward fold. When you're ready, stepping the feet back, downward dog. And coming all the way to hands and knees. We'll stack wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, spreading fingers nice and wide, wider than you think, into your starfish hands. So imagining your hands are starfish. They're gluing down into the bottom of the ocean. We'll move through cow and cat. So as we inhale, we lift our tail, drop our belly, lift our heart center. As we exhale, we round our spine, pressing the back towards the ceiling, continuing to move through cow and cat. Today, I invite you to take your smile breath. So as you inhale into cow, we put a big smile on our face. As we exhale around, we just let that smile go. It doesn't mean we need to go into a frown, but we can just release the smile. Just seeing how it makes you feel. Sometimes forcing a smile can make us feel a little happier, a little more positive. And then we'll come to our neutral spine. On an exhale, pressing hips back towards the heels, finding our child's pose. Hips can always stay lifted into our puppy pose, encouraging the forehead towards a surface, whether it's the mat or stacked hands, or if you have a block or pillow nearby. And as you inhale, feeling the expansion through the back of the body. As you exhale, maybe you feel your hips sink a little deeper towards your heels. Just continuing to breathe and feel. If you'd like to, and it feels good, you can walk your hands over towards the right side of the mat, pressing your left hip towards your left heel. So now you're getting a little side body stretch. And walking the hands over towards the left, pressing the right hip towards the right heel. Coming back through center. Let's come all the way down onto our abdomens, beginning by resting our forehead on the mat, stacked hands, or resting a cheek on the mat. So feeling this nice support by the earth, feeling the belly expand, maybe adding a little compression to the belly. Almost as if there's resistance with our breath, strengthening our diaphragms. And we'll come into Sphinx pose. So we'll bring our elbows under our shoulders. Palms and forearms are facing down on the mat. The tops of our feet are pressing into the ground. Our pelvis is pressing into the ground. We're lifting our navel center in and up. We're lifting our heart center, but we're looking to the top of our mat. So we keep a nice long neck here. And it's as if we're pressing the ground away from us through our hands, through our forearms, through our elbows. So this is a pretty active pose here, strengthening our back body. Breathing here, full inhales, complete exhales. And when we feel ready, we can go ahead and release our forehead to our hands or cheek to the mat, maybe bending the knees and swaying the legs side to side. And then we'll go ahead and we'll come all the way onto our backs, however you'd like to get there. And we'll take a full body stretch. So we'll just reach arms overhead, pointing the toes in the opposite direction. As if somebody is pulling on your hands gently, somebody is pulling on your ankles gently. And then let's go ahead and hug both knees towards the chest. We can take our hands behind our knees or across our shins. Maybe we even gently rock side to side, giving ourselves a little back massage. And then we'll place both feet back on the ground. When we're ready, knees facing towards the sky. Let's go ahead and reach our right foot towards the sky, circling the ankle a little bit. Maybe flexing and pointing. And then bringing the right ankle onto the left knee, finding our figure four stretch, our supine pigeon. Maybe drawing the toes towards the knee, keeping the right leg active. And we can stay here, or we can take both hands behind our left leg, drawing knees towards chest, finding our supine pigeon, supine figure four. Maybe we rock around a little bit, and then working our way towards stillness. And always lift our left foot towards the sky if that feels good. And just allow yourself to be and breathe. You can always begin to take a longer exhale, which will help calm our nervous system, help us come into a more relaxed response. And when we feel ready, we can bring our left foot to the floor if it's lifted. Uncrossing the leg, let's take our feet out as wide as the mat, begin to windshield wiper the knees side to side a little bit. Coming back to center, walking feet about hip distance apart towards each other. Lifting the left foot towards the sky, circling the ankle, pumping the ankle. And then bringing the left ankle above the right knee, pausing here, pulling the toes towards the shin maybe. Staying here or taking both hands behind the right leg, drawing knee towards chest, taking any gentle movement here, and then pausing in your supine pigeon, perhaps even reaching the right foot towards the sky. Checking in with the shoulders and the neck, the muscles of the face. We'll release the right foot back to the ground, uncrossing the legs. Pausing for just a moment here. And from here, we'll lift our hips over towards the right side of the mat, hugging knees towards chest. On an exhale, lowering the legs towards the left. Maybe bringing our arms out into our T or cactus arms and looking over towards the right if that feels good. Making any adjustments to your supine spinal twist that nourishes your body, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw. Remembering we can use that longer exhale here. And as we begin to slow down, noticing what the mind is doing now that we're slower and we're resting, is our mind beginning to wander? If it is, being kind and compassionate to ourselves, but then drawing our awareness back to this present moment, noticing the breath is helpful, or sensations in the body, even counting the breath can be helpful. And we'll bring our head back to center when we feel ready. We'll bring our legs back to center. Just take a moment here, resetting before moving to the other side. Shifting our hips over to the left when we're ready, knees towards chest. Inhale, exhale, dropping the knees towards the right, maybe looking over towards the left. Just taking notice of how this side feels, if there's any differences in sensation or mobility. And then returning our head to center when we feel ready, guiding our legs back towards center. Then I invite you to take any last movements you would like to finish up your asana practice. You can take another knees to chest, happy baby, legs up the wall, full body stretch, or you can make your way right into your final relaxation pose. And that has many options also. Traditionally, our legs are lengthened, our feet are flopping open towards the corners of the mat, but you could always bend your knees, could lay on your side, or if it feels a little more supportive and grounding, you can always lay in crocodile on your stomach. And I will be seated for the rest of practice, so just make any adjustments to work towards stillness. And once you arrive there, you may close your eyes if that is comfortable, or soften your gaze. Once again, tuning back inward to your body on the mat. And today I will read us a little guided meditation called Floating Balloons. Embracing our childlike joy today. So beginning in a comfortable position, allowing yourself to relax for the next few moments. Connecting to your breath, feeling your inhale, your belly expands, and with your exhale, your belly relaxes. Imagining your body as a balloon inflating and deflating with each breath. Observing as you breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Now let's slow down the balloon filling process and match the deflating of the balloon to the same pace. Now every time you inhale, starting to imagine a balloon filling overhead with helium. As you exhale, the balloon gets tied with a string. Every inhale creates another balloon, and breath by breath, you will accumulate a bouquet of balloons overhead. And beginning to imagine the colors of these balloons. Are they red, orange, yellow? Are they green or blue? Are they indigo or even bright white? Breath by breath, you become surrounded by a huge, colorful bouquet of balloons, holding the strings to each in your hand. Soon, you start to feel you're lifting off from the ground and drifting serenely up in the sky. What does the sky look like? Is it pale blue with soft sunlight sifting through the clouds? Or is it midnight ink blue studded with stars? Whatever the sky looks like, you feel light and peaceful, and you enter the infinite expanse above you. Reaching the perfect height in the sky and staying there for a while, floating, observing your quiet and calm surroundings. When you have taken your fill, you let loose one balloon at a time, breath by breath. Slowly, gently, starting to descend back to earth. You touch back to the ground light as a feather. You feel your body resting on the earth and gravity slowly comes back to you, feeling grounded and secure. When you are ready, you'll begin to bring awareness back to your physical body, back to your mat, back to the room. Begin to wiggle the toes and the fingers, even turning the head side to side. And take as much time as you need to hug the knees towards the chest, Maybe rocking a little bit and then rolling to your right or left side and just pausing there for a moment, taking a moment to transition. Maybe taking your hand to your heart to thank yourself for joining everyone in the practice of yoga this afternoon. And then taking as much time as you need to come into your seated position. And we can keep our eyes closed if that's comfortable, or continuing to keep a soft gaze. We'll take both hands to heart center, lifting our heart towards our thumbs, thumbs towards our heart. Just sensing what you're feeling right now. And I hope you can continue this sense of calmness, peace, joy with you throughout your day. Thank you for joining me in practice, for allowing me to guide your practice. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Have fun on your trip.
Thank you, Nancy.